novel wasn't just a story, but maybe a rich tapestry of human experience, something waiting to be explored for, profound insights into character relationships.
And maybe those surprising truths hidden just beneath societal norms.
Exactly. Today, we're embarking on just such a unique deep dive.
Yeah.
We're stepping into the pages of Adele Ashworth's award-winning novel, My Darling Caroline. It's a historical romance set in Regency England, 1815.
Right. And you've shared some excerpts from this really compelling story.
Yeah, and our mission is to unpack the fascinating layers of its central characters and themes.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't merely about the plot, right? It's about extracting those nuggets of knowledge and insight into, well, the human condition.
And those surprising facts about the expectations of the era, too.
And the universal journey of self-discovery and connection. It's kind of a shortcut, really, to understanding a vivid period and these compelling characters without reading every single page.
A deep dive it is. So, where do we start?
Let's explore this. We start with Caroline Grayson.
Ah, Caroline. Yeah, a woman who truly stands out in her era. I mean, in 1815, societal norms basically dictated women focus on domestic arts, securing a suitable husband, that sort of thing.
But Caroline defies these expectations massively.
Yeah, the source describes her studying roses with, quote, the detachment of a scientist and the expertise of a scholarly botanist.
Wow.
And even more striking, she's exceedingly bright in mathematics, able to calculate complex numbers simply with her head, baffling most everyone who knew her, especially because she was female.
Imagine being that gifted in a field considered utterly unfeminine back then. A genius stifled by these rigid expectations. What would you even do?
It's a tough question. Her ambition isn't just personal, is it? It feels like a powerful statement against the era's limitations for women.
Totally. It shows how that profound intellectual drive can push individuals to defy society, even adopt a false identity just to pursue a passion.
Makes you wonder how much genius was lost because of those constraints.
Right. Her deepest desire is to study botanical science at Columbia University in New York.
And she presents herself as Mr. C.S. Grayson.
Precisely, because as she learned firsthand, being female got you nothing in the scientific world.
It wasn't just a whim, was it? It was a direct response to that pervasive sexism.
Absolutely. Her rejection by the renowned Sir Albert Markham at Oxford, it wasn't about her ability at all.
Purely her gender.
Yeah. A stark reminder that even brilliant women were just pushed towards domestic life, their intellectual goals dismissed as unfeminine.
It's a really painful illustration of those systemic barriers. Meanwhile, into this scene crashes Brent Ravenscroft, the 9th Earl of Weymouth.
The Earl.
Yeah, he's just back from the hell of war, fought Napoleon at Waterloo, and he carries deep scars from that.
Understandable.
He comes home to Miramont, his ancestral home, finds it utterly ruined, possessions sold off by his cousin, Reginald Kent.
To pay gambling debts, right?
Exactly. But the most devastating thing for him is that his prized Arabian horses are gone.
Oof. And here's where the marriage of inconvenience really kicks in.
Right. Caroline's rather cunning father, Baron Scytheford, has bought Brent's horses.
And he'll only return them if Brent marries Caroline.
It's literally presented as a bill of sale. Cold, transactional.
Brent is, understandably, horrified. He finds Caroline ordinary in looks and manner with an impudent mouth.
And he has this deep distrust of women generally, doesn't he? Stemming from decades of vanity, selfishness, coldness, and deceit from women in his past.
Yeah, that really speaks volumes about the damage his past relationships caused. It sets up a huge challenge, Can Caroline, with her, unconventional mind, break through that deep cynicism?
Well, Caroline, for her part, she has her own plans. She intends to leave for America by January.
So she's got an escape route in mind.
She does. And while disgracing her father, who she loves, really plagues her, she's also incredibly rational about it all.
How so?
She sees an opportunity, maybe, to turn this mess to her advantage. Marry the Earl, fulfill her father's wish.
And then find a way out later to pursue her science.
Exactly. She figures he's also being coerced into it.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes them unwilling partners in this whole scheme.
Right, reluctant allies almost. So their first meeting must have been tense.
Oh, it's a true clash. Brutal, really. Brent is incredibly blunt, almost cruel.
What does he say?
Asks if she's a virgin, if he'll take her, ruined with conditions. He doesn't think she'll get any other offers.
Harsh. And Caroline.
Initially shocked, naturally. But then she defiantly states, I am not a virgin.
Whoa. How does he react to that?
His response is just cold. After meeting you, Caroline, I really don't care.
Ouch. That must have hurt.
Yeah, the text says Caroline crushes her beloved lavender rose in her hand right then.
Yeah.
It really speaks to the violence of his words and the pressure she's under.
But that moment, maybe it also hints at something deeper, a resilience.
Absolutely. That initial brutal exchange, it's just the surface. It sets the stage for how her extraordinary intellect starts to unravel Brent's own hidden depths and transform how he sees her.
So her brain power is key.
Totally.
Yeah.
Her intellect isn't just theoretical. She quickly assesses Brent's ruined estate, his finances.
She looks at the books.
Yeah, tells him he multiplied by 3 instead of 300 and didn't carry your zeros. Finds he actually has quite a bit more money than you first thought.
Huh. What a moment for Brent. That must have shattered his initial judgment of her.
It does. He's amazed, notes she's fairly bright, or maybe extremely bright, and suddenly his plain and unattractive wife becomes incredibly appealing.
Funny how that works. And her scientific mind, it applies elsewhere, too.
Oh, yes. With Rosalind, Brent's illegitimate daughter,
Yeah.
Caroline observes her uncontrollable behavior.
The little girl everyone thinks is difficult.
Right. Caroline hypothesizes she's not sick in the mind, but possibly deaf. She sees a rational mind under there, figuring the behavior is maybe manipulation to get attention from a father who's been absent.
Always looking for the logical explanation.
Her mind just seeks patterns, whether it's plants or people. She even uses botany to explain human genetics. Makes this fascinating analogy. It's believed that plants mix like two parents do when creating a child, with the flowers having traits from both plants. She adds, science is rarely exact with flowers or children, so one cannot predict coloring with much accuracy.
That's really insightful, applying biology to life itself.
Exactly. It shows the depth of her scientific thinking.
And Brent, he's not just this arrogant earl, is he? There's more underneath.
Definitely not. He's deeply traumatized by the war. He shares this harrowing account of being trapped for 3 full days and nights in a trench at Waterloo.
Oh, God.
Full of dead and dying humans and horses. He calls it a field of mass suffering. Describes his arm seared right through a man's body at one point.
That's incredibly graphic. It really gives you a window into those invisible wounds he carried.
For sure. It explains so much about his cynicism and isolation, doesn't it? Makes his eventual opening up to Caroline even more remarkable.
It really does. A reminder of the battles people carry long after the war's over.
Yeah. And his cynicism towards women, while awful, it apparently comes from decades of vanity, selfishness, coldness, and deceit from women in his life, not just one bad experience.
So it's deeply ingrained.
But underneath, he admits to this deep loneliness, a desire for connection. He confesses that Rosalind, his daughter, was the only thing that kept him sane in that trench.
Remembering her kept him going.
Yeah, remembering the little girl who needed me. He says, she is the only thing precious in my life, Caroline, and she depends on me.
Wow. So his initial resistance to Caroline, it's all tied up in that distrust and pain.
Pretty much. But he also finds her refreshingly unique, even early on.
So while Brent and Caroline are sort of navigating this reluctant arrangement, his daughter, Rosalind, becomes really important, right?
Crucial, a catalyst, really. She's 4, initially seen as wild, uncontrollable, even sick in the mind, raised mostly by Netta, the housekeeper, because Brent was away or just preoccupied.
Understandable, given his trauma. But Caroline steps in.
She does. With her keen observation, her empathy, she dedicates herself to Rosalind. She figures out Rosalind might be deaf and starts trying to teach her.
How?
Associations, lip movements, gestures, writing. She starts by tapping her own chest and opening her arms to mean me, Caroline.
And does Rosalind get it?
She does. Responds with this fierce hug. It's a real breakthrough, a connection based on understanding, not just managing behavior.
That's powerful. And then comes the big aha moment.
Yes. After weeks of work, Rosalind points to a rose after Caroline gestures flower. Then she points more forcefully to the rose again.
Okay. What does it mean?
Caroline realizes Rosalind associated rose with Rosalind herself, because the words are similar in spelling and both exquisitely beautiful.
Whoa. So she was making connections, rational thought.
Exactly. It confirms Rosalind's rationality, her ability to learn, completely overturning everyone's assumptions, and it shows Caroline's incredible insight into connection.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we misinterpret behavior as a deficit when it's just different communication?
A really important question. And this breakthrough with Rosalind, it sort of paves the way for mending deeper family fences. Brent's estranged sister, Charlotte Becker, arrives.
The one who ran off to marry an American.
That's her, Carl. Brent saw it as a huge betrayal of their English heritage and of him personally. Their mother, Lady Maud, apparently was quite manipulative, always pushing Brent.
And Charlotte reveals something interesting about Lady Maud, doesn't she, related to botany?
She does, a fascinating parallel. Charlotte says Lady Maud wanted to be a botanist because I wanted to be a botanist, but lacked the actual talent, self-discipline, and desire for hard work.
So Maud was just mimicking.
Apparently. Described as disorganized, acutely self-centered, and undisciplined. It really highlights the difference between Caroline's genuine genius and Maud's sort of superficial interest.
Underscores Caroline's real passion.
Then, Charlotte shares her own tragedy. Her healthy baby daughter, Maggie, died suddenly at 2 months old.
Oh, how awful.
And Brent never responded to her letters about it because he returned them unopened. Caused this immense pain, deepened the rift between them.
Yikes. Still, Charlotte seems wise.
Very. She confronts Brent about his fear of loss, his obstinacy, advises him to swallow your pride, look into her Caroline's eyes, and tell her without any reservation how much you love her.
She sees something real between them.
She does. Believes Caroline is as unique as her lavender rose and that Brent loves her inside for who she is. Her words start to chip away at Brent's defenses.
Opening him up. And then there's the connection to Sir Albert Markham.
A big reveal. Sir Albert Markham, Caroline's botanical hero. He's Brent's uncle.
No way.
Yeah. Brent, spurred on by Charlotte, arranges a meeting. Markham admits his secretary rejected Caroline's original letter out of, quote, efficiency, never showing him her work.
So Markham never even saw it initially.
Nope. But when he does see it later, he calls it exceptional, unparalleled. Says Caroline is probably the most gifted botanist I've come across in years.
Wow, that must have been incredibly validating for Caroline after being dismissed just for being a woman.
A huge moment, for sure. A step towards recognizing her genius. But then, another complication. Caroline discovers Brent owned a greenhouse the whole time.
He kept it secret. Why?
It was cleaned and sealed, like someone maintained it but didn't use it. She suspects he kept it from her for personal reasons, which initially just fuels her anger.
So she feels betrayed again.
Initially, yes. But what does she do? She secretly starts working on it herself, getting it ready for planting. Shows her dedication, doesn't it? Regardless of obstacles.
Always focused on the science. And then the really big twist about the marriage itself.
Oh, yeah. Her father, Baron Scytheford, reveals the whole thing was orchestrated by Caroline's younger sister, Stephanie.
Stephanie, how old was she?
Only 16 at the time. She found out Brent was Albert Markham's nephew and unmarried.
And she cooked up the whole horse sale scheme?
Convinced her father to do it. To engineer the sale, to force the marriage. The Baron admits Caroline is his favorite, and he did it to secure her future without scandal. Says he's glad he never had sons, values his daughters highly.
So the whole forced marriage, it was basically a teenage girl's elaborate, if maybe manipulative, matchmaking plan.
Mind-blowing, isn't it? It completely reframes everything, which leads us to this pivotal dinner party.
The one meant to reconcile Brent and Charlotte.
That's the one. Caroline, looking transformed in a deep wine gown, assists Brent, and he publicly praises her, says dramatically, if it weren't for Caroline, we'd be having this dinner on the floor with wooden spoons.
Huh. Nice. But then her skills get challenged.
Yeah, her father's male friends, typically for the era, doubt her mathematical abilities. So Caroline just performs these complex calculations in her head.
Like what? Give me an example.
Multiplying 476 by 132 instantly. Publicly humiliates them. Charlotte's American husband, Carl, is deeply impressed.
A moment of pure triumph for her intellect. Couldn't be dismissed then.
But the peace doesn't last. Philip Roussel.
The French officer from Brent's past. The one connected to the trench trauma.
He reappears. Working for their neighbor under a fake name, Peter Whitworth. He targets Caroline in the greenhouse, thinking she's Brent's weakness.
Oh, no. Does he reveal anything?
He reveals that Christine, Rosalind's mother, was the one who actually betrayed Brent to the French back then.
Wow. Another layer of betrayal. How is Caroline saved?
Brent gets warned by Rosalind's unusual behavior, maybe her intuition. He races to the greenhouse, saves Caroline heroically, stabs Philip with a knife.
So Brent confronts his past trauma head-on to save her.
Exactly. It's raw, protective. Shows how far he's come from that closed-off Earl. He's demonstrating, maybe unconsciously, how fiercely protective he feels about her now.
But even after that, the trust breaks again.
Devastatingly. Brent finds Caroline's letter from Columbia University, addressed to Mr. C.S. Grayson, proof of her plans to leave him for America.
Oh, right, the plan she made before everything changed.
He confronts her, face entirely void of expression, accuses her of manipulation, using him for breeding stock, invalidating everything between them.
That's brutal. What does he offer her?
An allowance, demands the child if she's pregnant, otherwise she gets nothing, dismisses her as if she never existed.
Just erases her. It brings up that question again, doesn't it? When is a lie a betrayal versus maybe a desperate act born of impossible circumstances?
It's such a crucial question here. But then Caroline's sister Jane steps in.
Jane visits Brent.
Yes, to clarify things. Explains Caroline never meant to hurt him. She was trying to avoid scandal for their father, and she genuinely grew to love Brent.
Does she have proof?
She reveals that Caroline sent her groundbreaking notes on the lavender rose to Sir Albert Markham, Brent's uncle. Remember after that dinner party?
After the party. Why is that significant?
Because she asked Markham to name the rose Rosalind.
Oh, naming her discovery after his daughter.
Exactly. A clear demonstration of her deep love and sacrifice for both Rosalind and Brent, putting them above her own lifelong ambition. Jane also reveals Brent was tricked about his property. He inherited Marymount free and clear. His cousin couldn't legally sell it. More deception, but not by Caroline.
Okay, so things start to shift for Brent. How does the reconciliation happen?
It's powerful. Caroline, now visibly pregnant, returns to Marymount, finds Brent in his study, surrounded by a room full of roses.
Symbolic.
Very. And she doesn't hold back. Challenges him, expresses her anger, her loneliness, how much she missed him and Rosalind.
She lets him have it.
She does. Then finally she unbuttons her coat, reveals her pregnancy, and confesses her love. Recounts how it grew from that first meeting to his acceptance of Rosalind.
What does she say?
I have loved you for 204 days, my beautiful, brave husband, and I swear to you now I will love you forever.
Wow. And Brent.
Moved to tears. Admits he loves her too, that his dreams of you, Caroline, were nothing compared to the real thing. It's that true vulnerability breaking down the last walls.
So what does this all mean for their future, the transformed future?
Well, Caroline gives birth to twin daughters, Lady Margaret and Lady Lily. One resembles Caroline, the other Brent.
In Rosalind.
She continues to thrive. Learning to read with help from a governess experienced with deaf children, her potential is fully realized, thanks to Caroline's empathy.
And Brent? How does he handle having daughters after wanting a son?
It's a huge shift. He expresses profound satisfaction, tells his father-in-law, I never needed a son to feel completely whole as a man, and truthfully, I'm quite glad I never had one.
Really? That's amazing growth.
Yeah, he sees the worthiness of the females in their lives, a complete turnaround.
And Caroline, does she regret giving up America?
She finds fulfillment in her greenhouse at Marymount, which is now fully hers. She continues her botanical work right there. It proves passion can thrive in unexpected ways, right?
So the path changed, but the passion didn't die.
Exactly. Her choice to stay is shown as being born of love, of deep connection, not regret. Happiness found where it wasn't initially sought.
It really is a testament, isn't it, that happily ever after can show up in the most unexpected places, through the toughest challenges, especially when two complex people learn to really see and value each other beyond first impressions and, well, all those societal rules.
We've seen how My Darling Caroline unpacks these big themes, societal expectations for women, the deep impact of trauma, the transformative power of empathy, of real love.
Yeah, what started as basically coercion.
Right, a marriage forced by circumstance.
It evolved into this deep connection, built on mutual respect, understanding, fueled by shared challenges and surprising truths.
It definitely leaves you with a lingering question, doesn't it?
Which is?
How often do our perceived weaknesses, or maybe the flaws we see in others, actually hold the greatest potential for connection and profound growth?
That's a great thought to end on. We encourage you, listening, to consider the unexpected ways life's challenges might reveal hidden strengths, maybe lead to unforeseen paths to happiness.